Another fade-out, Jared. Tell us about the Freo fade-out. We've come to expect it.
There's not much you can say, except I think Dwayne Russell had it right, that Port Adelaide had Freo exactly where they wanted them at three-quarter time, 2 points in front. This has been, I reckon it's got to be close enough to one of the hardest seasons I've ever seen a club endure. Round 6, 8 points, opposition 34 in the final term, 18 to 56, a deficit of 38, 19 to 40, 9 to 12. They hit the front with a Garrick Ibbotson goal, and yet they kicked in the last quarter, 5 minutes in, and yet they kicked just 8 points to 38 in that final term. Now, clearly there's two factors. Mental for sure. How much of it's physical, I'm not sure, but I think you have to be convinced that there's not a physical element to it.
Well, see, Mark Harvey left the players to themselves after the game. Put yourself back in that coaching role. I know you don't want to, but just temporarily. What's your message to a group that, I mean, you can't go and tell them that they're not doing something wrong, can you? I mean, everyone knows that. You know in your own heart that when you get in front or it's a tight situation, you're wobbly. Now, what do you say to them?
Well, I think the fact that he left him alone was probably a good thing because he's been through it 4 or 5 times in a row. And what more can he say? And he probably needs a day at least to digest it all and just come back with something that's positive to them. But I can guarantee if you're playing for the Dockers next year, you'll be doing the toughest summer you've ever done because you make sure you eliminate that as a possibility that you're not fit enough.
At three-quarter time, he took them down in front of the Freo faithful. They made an enormous roar. It was inspiring. Choco Williams, he just eyeballed every player. There was deathly silence, etc. I just wonder, Robert, if you had your time again, whether you just send the runner out and say, players, it's over to you. There's nothing we can say anymore. I know it'd be a challenge because everyone...
You're saying the coach doesn't go out.
Everyone would whack him if he didn't do it, but what did it achieve by going out and just emphasising possibly the things that they'd been doing wrong for 4 weeks, or even just throwing caution to the wind?
But wouldn't he have said to them, I don't know, but I presume he would have sort of said, just play it like a normal quarter of footy. Just play
I'm sure he
play
said
it on
that.
its merits.
If you leave the players to their own merits... I know it's radical, Robert. Probably would have been criticised.
Wouldn't want to miss, Jared, would you?
Well, you missed anyway.
Well, they've missed anyway.
But we didn't know that.
5 times.
You wouldn't know that.
You'd hope if the coach didn't go out that the senior 4 or 5 players would take it on. And this is the other thing that we see happening each week. Poor old Pav having a crunch shot for goal. And guess what he'll do, Mike?
I couldn't believe he hit the post. You imagine a player of his quality 3 times in 6 weeks hitting the post with a decisive kick.
It's a major test for Pav. He's been copping it all over the country, and once again this morning, this is what they had on the West Australian. Postman Pav, captain, fails to deliver under pressure. Now, there's no guarantee they were going to win that game. They were 16 points down when he did hit that post, but he's got some issues to deal with, and probably the one is just his expectation of himself, which I'm sure is higher than he's delivered.
The next one's going to be more difficult again now, isn't it?
And there's no break for them. They head up to Brisbane and take on the Lions at the Gabba. So
he might be happy to be out of town.
Might well be.